such an asshole.
Well, you guys are witnessing Cappy Cap history. Let me turn that a little bit. There we go. Perfection. This is my first real prescription of glasses. These are not these glasses here, which are the blue glasses. These are the blue glasses with anti-glare. Let me see these. Well, those are more glary, I guess. Yeah, these aren't that glary. Well, whatever. So I put them on. I'm like, oh my God. There's a dog here? Where'd that one come from? So yeah, and this was chosen by many women, and it wasn't that bad, but I was still like, this one, like, oh my God, I just want to see. And honestly, though, I did want to put a fair amount of effort into it because, it's like a permanent fashion fixture to your face. So Alex writes, hey, Clary, please rate my investment plan. I want a video response. This is the article where I got the strategy from. And I've heard of this strategy before. A buddy of mine talked about it. It's, what is it? A third, a third, a third. Hang on, I got crap in my eye. Like a third art, third real estate, and then third something else. We'll go through it. But let me pull up the article here so you guys know what I'm talking. Oh, hang on. Let me read the rest of his request. Here's my actual investment plan. Third of my money goes into woodlands, farmlands, and parking lots. Good generation income. Third goes into gold and silver. All right, precious metals was a third coming. Third goes into fine art. I like fine art because it makes up for a living in a rural area. Makes up for living in a rural area, and it's social. I guess fine art. You can immediately see what this is geared towards. Although I would, in addition to gold and silver, throw a little crypto in there. But the stocks are blindingly obvious, absent. And the reason why is like, yeah, if this goes, if society collapses, your companies, your corporations, your public securities, stocks, bonds, and all that have no value. Weimar Republic, Germany collapses, whatever. Soviet, they didn't have companies. They had communism. They were so smart. And this sidesteps all of that. And so I would say this is the way my friend who told me about this a decade ago was like, rich families in Europe would always have a third, a third, a third, so that if their empire was taken over, they lost their fiefdom or whatever, they still had something. And I also think it was, it's not here in the United States, but they also talked about having the possessions overseas or cross borders in Europe, because they are always marrying off their cousins and sisters and daughters. We will have an allegiance with France. Weren't we in a war with them last year? History of Britain or the England, United Kingdom. Let's F with the French. History of France. Let's F with England. That was it. That's all it is. You didn't study European history. I don't have to. Rome, Charlemagne, Visigoth. Yeah, the Visigoths and barbarians, they held out for a long time, right? Oh, Charlemagne, crap. And then a little fighting, the Lombards. And then the rest of history is just the French and the English fighting each other. That's all it was. It's Tuesday. Let's F with the French. So that was in those times that you were like, oh, better have some money in Italy. Holy Roman Empire, all that. Yeah, I know my history now. There we go. So the article is from U.S. News and World Report. This might be long enough ago to when it might have been germane and relevant, from 2012. The 3 ways old money holds on to its riches. Jim Rickards is a hedge fund manager in New York City, currency, blah, blah, blah. While America claims to be a class-free society, the opposite often seems to be the case. Americans are obsessed with social status in all of its forms, whether based on celebrity, artistic, or athletic accomplishment, or just plain money. Not wrong there. Although royalty is not legal in America, our economic royalty, including Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, are as highly regarded as any English duke or earl. Except, yeah, they actually earn their keep. Just a little difference there. Pointing out the difference between us and the Europeans. Us Americans, where we earn our money, unless you're a Democrat trust funder. When the Democrats were for the working party, now they work. Oh my God. UBI, Andrew Yang. Please. I'm sorry, Andrew Yang. It's poking me. I got a sliver. Is it wood? No, it's Andrew Yang's dick. It broke off. When it comes to status, we don't look. Oh, hold on. I'll make sure I'm not muted. I am not. When it comes to status, we don't look at the size of one's bank account. We make distinctions based on the nexus of money and social standing. This leads to contrasts such as old money and new money, with the former connoting generations of life on country estates and Ivy League credentials, while the later is something flashier, like Democrats and Republicans. The Astor family have been wealthy for over 200 years and practically define old money America, not the Rockefellers. Yet, as one goes abroad, there's even an older kind of money, true dynastic wealth, that has existed in some families for 300 years or longer. This type of wealth has survived not only business cycles, but also war, invasion, the collapse of empires, revolution, and natural disaster. In order for family wealth to persist through so many centuries and through such adversity, something more is needed than ordinary investment skill. This rare kind of success in wealth preservation requires a longer view. This is a very good writer. I don't know who this Jim Rickards guy is, but he's a very good writer. Infused with the sense of history and a keen appreciation for worst-case scenarios that too frequently become real. When one inquires of family members or representatives as to what it takes to preserve wealth over centuries and not just cycles, the frequent reply is a third, a third, a third. This is shorthand for dividing one's wealth into 1/3 land, 1/3 gold, 1/3 fine art. Obviously, some liquidity is needed for day-to-day expenses, and some room can be made for a speculative portfolio. But the basic idea that land, gold, and art outlast and outperform riskier assets such as stocks, bonds, and cash seems sound when viewed from the perspective of centuries, not just years or decades. That doesn't apply to me because I don't care. Like, it'd be okay with me if, like, my estate collapsed to zero value after I died, before anyone could liquidate it or tax it. No, like, there are no fifth generation Cappies. My great 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 grandfather was Cappy Cap. This may be difficult to grasp for Americans who have been badgered with mantras like stocks for the long run by Wall Street salesmen more concerned with their commissions than their clients. Stocks can indeed perform well for long periods, although major indices have barely budged over the last 12 years. What? Oh, it's 2012. Yeah, at that point it was break even. Yep, you're right. Yet stocks, bonds, and even cash all involve some claim on a third party. Wait, cash, bonds, cash. Some claim on a third party and therefore contain credit risk in addition to whatever market risk they embed. The investor is always at the mercy of the issuer. Companies eventually go bankrupt. True. Bonds eventually default. Yes. Every paper currency in the history world is eventually proved worthless. Correct. And Americans are a bunch of debt-laden pussies. Oh, no, doesn't say that. And there's little reason to believe the reigning paper money champions such as the dollar, euro, or yen will prove different in the fullness of time. It is a really good writer. In contrast, the value of land, gold, and art is intrinsic. You own it. If you own it, you own it. There's no issuer who can suddenly make your land disappear or turn your gold into confetti. A painting cannot go bankrupt. Of course, it is possible a totalitarian regime like FDR, Democrats, and communists in general, or an invading army might confiscate tangible wealth. Yet, even then, there are defensive strategies that have been pursued with success. Gold can be gathered up and stuffed in a saddlebag or sewn into the lining of a coat and moved. Art can be removed from frames, rolled up, and carried in one's luggage. Admittedly, land cannot be moved, but with good title and patience, a family can reassert its claim even generations later, once interlopers may have been ousted. Many Cuban families in South Florida are waiting to recover their estates seized by Castro in the late 1950s, once the communist government collapses. Oh, wouldn't that be precious? Wouldn't that be awesome? Like, your little communist regime collapses over there, and then the Pasquezes or the Vasquezes or the Eduardos come in, and they're like, "Hey, this is ours. Get off our land." Oh, that'd be wonderful. and they may do this with some success. No portfolio is perfect with or without risk, yet too often we think of risk narrowly and ignore the greatest risk of all in the form of monetary collapse, social disorder, regime change, emergency edicts. So this is 2012. Yeah, I think crypto was around then. Crypto is in there. That's in there. Or should be. It's not at this point in time. Warren Buffett disparages gold because it has no yield. The reason it has no yield is that it has no risk. Yield is what you earn when you take a risk. Gold has no credit risk, no currency risk, no maturity risk, indeed no risk of any kind. It's just gold. In contrast, Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway stock, when priced not in dollars but ounces of gold, has declined in value by about 75% since 2000. Well, okay, but at 2012, that was like still recovering from the financial crisis. So, in fairness, but your point still stands. His value in gold has dropped 75% since 2000, from 280 ounces per share to 70 ounces per share. Put differently, someone who bought gold rather than Berkshire in 2000 could today buy 4 times as much Berkshire stock using the same gold. There has been similar appreciation in the value of fine art. Admittedly, this is a selective example, yet it is true that over centuries, it is the hard assets, not the paper assets, that retain value through collapse and catastrophe. I'm sure NFTs are in here somewhere as well. I'm kidding. I don't believe in NFTs. I don't get that. I don't get. The old money knows this. They have all seen it before. And that's it. That was the article. So here's let's get back to your request. I'm not against it. I am not against it. As long as it is conducive with your lifestyle and you are still diversified into the modern economy a little bit. And what I mean by that, yes, have land, have gold and silver. I do, obviously. And a lot of people already have 2/3 of this. You got your land, your house, you got precious metals. Well, my team does anyway. I don't know what the conformist NPC normie conformies inferiors do. You have student loan debt. Well, don't worry. It's for a really employable degree, right? Look at that sucker over there with his liberal arts degree. Oh, yeah, he's smart. Yeah. Let me guess. Your solution is more of my money. Oh, okay, Andrew Yang. Oh, you got the sliver. You shouldn't have been sucking on Yang's dick. God, how many... keep pulling them out of these student loan UBI people. It's a Yang blowjob. All right. I'm sorry. I just hate the prick. He's never done anything to me personally. He's just a rich little spoiled brat my age. Like, just more of other people's money because I have rich Asian parents. It's like the stereotype. So he wants me to work more and enslave more of my life so he can get elected. F you, Yang. I'm going to make sliver penis jokes about you. So you have real estate through your home. My team, not the Yang gang. The Yang gang, just more parents' money. No, parents gone now, Andy. More government money. There you go. Yay! I intelligent. My team has precious metals. I would also more modernly, upgrading this from 2012, put crypto in there. I like how you threw in silver. I don't like gold that much. If you're holding it for dynastic lengths of time, then sure, gold. I mean, if you were a king or a duke, well, there's our vault, Scrooge McDuck. Well, he hid it in the... Wait, so there was Scrooge McDuck. He was American. Who was the Scottish guy? No, wait, Scrooge McDuck he had a Scottish rival, didn't he? Always carried the bagpipe. Who was Scrooge McDuck's Scottish rival? They have it in their castle in Shire. That place in United Kingdom, next to the other Shire. And then what was it? Fine art. That's where I think we kind of fit. And I don't know how practical that is for us normie people. If we were wealthy, old British European people, sure. I think a more wise, diversified investment would be to own property overseas, have precious metals or something overseas. The fine, I wouldn't know how to pick it. That's another problem. Like I pick gold. Well, there it is. As long as it's legit gold, I pick silver. I pick this land. You need a skill and an eye to pick the right type of art, and I wouldn't be able to do that. So I would be more modernly. I wouldn't even bother looking at getting art. I'd be buying property overseas. That's what I would be doing. And so, or getting if you wanted to own a paper asset like an ETF, real estate investment fund, and I don't know, the Czech Republic, you could do it there. Yeah, as long as you have enough money saved up for retirement, like based in the US system, like you're throwing a little bit in an IRA or 401k, you're getting some of the tax deductions. Like you've done the like what if the US doesn't collapse? Now you got to liquidate your gold. Well, depending on the strength or weakness of currencies, that may not work. So unfortunately, men and women, because we're not Rothschilds, we're not Rockefellers, although that's American legacy. What were the British being? The Tudors, the other people. Wait, they're the Tudors. The Plantagenets, was that the last name of a family, or was that their group? The Plantagenets. Hang on. Plantagenets. Plantagenets. The Plantagenets. Oh, they're from France. See, they all fought each other. Okay. So unless you're like a independently wealthy American that we got to think, like billions of dollars that will leave a legacy that will last hundreds of years. You're really playing it more for the long term for your great grandchildren, your offspring, your newcomers. But for your average American bachelor who ain't having no kids, like, okay, it's wise. Crypto, precious metal, land. I'd say land overseas, precious metals hidden somewhere under a tree overseas where the Plantagenets used to walk around, maybe. And wear their funny collars. And then, yeah, I think that'd be fine. I think it's perfectly all right. Here's the thing. And again, this is my team in general, American bachelors and that pay attention. I think wealth is going to it will never become obsolete, but it's definitely going to change. And I've talked about this before, where if you're a minimalist and you're a bachelor, you don't need that much to get by. The technology, if you're not screwing up and spitting out kids from a different baby mama every time, you're not majoring in dumb crap, and you have the minorest of work ethics, all right? And you are fiscally frugal, you don't spend more than you make, you avoid debt, you're not going to outlast your money. Especially if you don't have kids, which I'd be curious. I bet you a good 75% of my audience either doesn't want kids. And if you don't have, you just got to play the game until you're 80 or 85, then you die. And so with minimalism and technology and just think about it. If you never followed the dumb crap media, government, television, movies, parents, teachers told you, how much further better would you be? Like, you're like, I don't need to go to school. Let's say you're 5th grade. Like, this is all crap. I did 6 years. This is BS. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to teach myself programming. I'm going to go work. I'm going to do yards and lawns. I'm going to, once I get, I guess you have to be 16 or at least 20, 18 to drive truck. You're just going to do something else. You're going to go work, or you're just going to get out of school more quickly, and you self-taught yourself, and you didn't worry about what was popular in school. I don't even know what's popular in school anymore. You didn't pay attention to oh God, where was I? I was watching the Miami and Tampa Bay and something else game. And they kept throwing up advertisements for America's Got Talent. What's AGT? And America's Got Talent. If You're the average American. I truly mean this both in a very descriptive and insulting manner. If you are the average moronic American F who believes you need to get a car loan, who believes you need to go to college for a worthless degree, follow your heart, money will follow. Which, if you're Andrew Yang, well, okay, not everyone has that much money. If you are your average American moron wearing another man's jersey who actually tunes into America's Got Talent, you went to college, it took you 6 years to get your degree in criminal justice because you're not even because you're stupid, you're a lazy moron. Think about all the money and time you wasted doing what you were told. You went to school until you're 21, if not 24, getting a master's degree. You had to spend at least a decade digging yourself out of debt. Some of you still haven't dug yourself out of debt, and because you're too stupid to understand compound math, you're 2 decades into debt. You had to live downtown where all the action is. Get a car, get that house. You're nowhere near retiring. You've been a slave this entire time. And your finances are even worse than the boomers. So if you piss away your money on worthless degrees, worthless clothes, popular crap, cars, all this other worthless junk, you're just, there's no retirement for you. It's just not going to happen. I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with this? Oh, how much money you need. Yeah, you need to work and contribute and da-da-da. But if you're just the bachelor or bachelorette, not the television show, you're hanging out with Cappy's crew over here and you're like, dude, I go to Goodwill, it's cheap. Or you found a good deal on a used, busted up car. You don't need a plan for gold in an estate, although you should. But you definitely don't need to go multi-generational. Oh, what will my great-grandchildren? I don't care. They don't exist. It only matters what Cappy wants. Oh, what does Cappy spend his money on? I spent my money on a hot bar at a luxury grocer I found over in the Henderson. Ooh, that was good food. And then what else? Warby Parker, I went there to get these. They're cheap. The place that gave me my prescription for $700, we could give you some. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to think. I don't spend my money on much. There is the food. I buy good food. That's about it. Oh, and cigars. Those are my vices. I ain't gonna outlast my money. Not gonna happen. Unless I have some incredible life longevity expectancy I'm not expecting. But yeah, it's fine. Sure. If you feel safe that way, I would just advise you get a little bit of exposure because if the US doesn't collapse, you need to maintain purchasing power with some kind of asset class that's liquid. So I'd recommend just diversified portfolio, 401k, standard S&P, get your tax, just toss a little bit into there. Another big thing is to not retire because it's good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health. I know a lot of you young people would have to start working in order to retire in the first place. But no, seriously, work until, work part-time. And that really helps shore up your finances. That's what the boomers have had to do. Yeah. And I think it's fine. I don't think you're going to take it with you. I think you're going to die. I think the average, mark my words, adjusted for inflation, in $2022, I think the average person tuning in here, we're going to die between $250,000, $500,000 that we never spent. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about outlasting our money. All right. Link below. 3 items. I'll get the super chats. Don't worry. Bachelor Pad Economics, the financial advice Bible for men and women that are bold enough to read it. Women are like, well, what's so shocking about it? I can handle anything. I say, can you handle the truth? So girls, don't read. I don't want you reading the truth. It would pop your little bubble there. What do you mean spend less than I make and major in engineering? Why do you hate women? And that's why I don't write books for women. The man with the magic 8-inch penis who is 6'3" and the astronaut billionaire cowboy surgeon rodeo champion walked up to the average girl with her librarian glasses and said, I must have you. Oh, they'll shell out the money for that. No, interrupted the F-18 fighter pilot, Olympic skier, billionaire philanthropist. You can't have her. She's mine. Oh, what's an arrogant Western name? Oh, Lance. I didn't know you secretly had billions. And then who's the Playboy rodeo championship? What's another arrogant Western name? Uh, no, Niles was from Frasier. Wait, was Frasier his first name? Maybe Frasier's a good arrogant name. Whatever. Oh, what's his name? Oh, it's coming to me. Hang on. Thaddeus. There it is. Thaddeus. How could I forget Thaddeus? Thaddeus, astronaut, rodeo champion. But she is they'll listen to that. But you can't get a woman to listen to, hey, maybe you ought to try accounting instead of feminists to hate the white guy studies. You just look, look. Okay. I know you're a white woman and you're a leftist and you hate men, especially white men, because none of them want to sleep with you. But just hear me out on this. What if you majored in accounting anyway and you passed on to feminist studies so you'd have money and then you could not have to go to school and you could just naturally, like, without any formalized training, a roguish, pure hater of men. You don't have to go to school today. You can pick up the books, go to the library, and learn all that for free. The thing's still in accounting. Why do you hate women? I'm trying to give you your dream, baby. No debt, an employable skill, a real job, and you still get to hate men. Isn't that like what makes every American woman cream her pants right now? It's not that bad, but it ain't that good. So, Bachelor Pad Economics. That was an endorsement for you all. Go buy Bachelor Pad Economics. And if you girls want to not be poor anymore and close the wage gap, look at that Aaron over there trying to close the wage gap and help out the women. But don't you know, if it's not what they want to hear, it's not helping them. It's pure misogynies. Oh, yes, I forgot. Rule 1, always lie to women. Otherwise, you'll be accused of hating them. But if you tell them the truth and the genuine way to help them, oh my God, how much do you hate them? Also, link below is for financial reasons. For those of you got your financial, just starting out. There are 2 links to my teachable courses. One is Achieving Financial Excellence. That is your very first starting point if you're going to get into personal financial planning. So I strongly recommend you take that. That is only $99. This all doesn't matter though. Oh, well, I invest in gold or fine art or the S&P 500 or real estate investment trust or what kind of, none of that's going to matter if you can't spend less than you make. And if you spend more than you make and you have the solution, spend less, but that's a problem. Like you can't do it, kind of like you can't lose weight. Oh, you mean there's an underlying psychological problem to people borrowing more and spending more money than they make? It's not simply, duh, Clary, spend less than you make. Minimalism is a philosophy, very closely related to Stoicism too, I might add. And the sooner you learn both of those philosophies, actually, the sooner you will get your financial act together. So if you're really serious about getting out of debt, really serious about getting your financial act together, become a minimalist. And if you can't become a minimalist, I'm going to tell you right now, don't even bother with financial planning. Just join the Yang Gang and expect the government to bail you out when you're a boomer. Get the tweezers again. No, the really small tweezers with the microscope. I don't like it. I don't have to have this with all the free money. Why do I have to keep pulling the sliver dick out of my face? So achieving minimalism theory and practice, that is not cheap. But the reason it is not cheap, it's $450. No, it's even more than that when you pay for taxes, sales tax, because you all vote Democrat. The reason it's so expensive is so that I make a lot of money. There's one reason. But the main reason, aside from me making a lot of money, is so that you get the kick in the nuts or the hoo-ha, depending on who you are, to take it seriously. Because I learned long ago, if I just give free advice, no one listens. You pay $500, you might pay attention. You might actually be serious about it. And before you complain about the price, don't complain to me, because you got a car payment of $800 a month, student loan payments of $300 a month, and that doesn't even pay down the balance. You piss away, Lord knows, on your credit card bill, and I don't know where the money is. Oh, like you live paycheck to paycheck, but make $250,000. Oh, then you pissed away $350 of credit on a worthless degree and $300 on a book. College books. So don't tell me. Hang on, I'll be back. I got to take a potty break. Give me a second. We'll get super chat. Oh man. That wasn't a born again poo, but it was pretty close. That was coming back a couple pounds lighter. Anyway, so the link down below is to the Achieving Minimalism course. We can sign up for that. And then I can't guarantee you'll be rich, but I can guarantee you if you spend less than you make, you won't be poor anymore. Unless like something genuinely statistically unlikely happens to you of bad luck. Let's scroll through and get through these super chats here. Atham in the house. Me Mike, $2. I say to thee, Aaron, he was ahead of his time. Hold on. I don't want. Look, let me show you how self-centered I am. Everyone's worried about legacy, right? If you're smart, you're like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. What matters what you're doing now. You're gonna die, and it's an issue. Like, what did you leave? Did you make your life count? It's whether. Why is that all screwed up? Oh, that's why. All right, there we go. Because when you pass away, what did you do for humanity? Dude, I don't want the notoriety. Like, I could be never remembered again. All I want is the reverse of what Tesla had. That they recognize me in my time and I make lots of money. Then I die and I don't care. Then you could expunge me from the record. I don't care. No one's going to listen to my advice anyway. You're going to keep making the same damn mistakes. I'm not going to stop anything. It's like, yeah, there's that grumpy guy who was right. He's like Schopenhauer, but not bald, and he got laid. Scrolling. Me, Mike, $2. Called a prison wallet. Just claim mental help. Called a prison wallet? I don't. Just claim mental hip? What are you talking about, me, Mike? You know, if you drop $2.05, you get a couple extra characters. All right. It's all the same Hanyackers in here. Scrolling. Good to see everybody back from Christmas break. Oh, man. Maybe I can go to the cigar lounge and enjoy a cigar. My voice is back. Everything's wonderful. Oh, man. Having my health back. Oh, month of not really lying on my back. But, yeah, and this guy here, he gets better in 5 days only because his nurse, not a girlfriend, takes care of him better than this rando on the internet, which I set them up, by the way. So she gives him the good drugs, and she gives me the long-to-work drugs. All right, that's it. There you go. Metal Hip. Metal Hip. All right. All right, that's it. All the links to the stuff below. If I guarantee you this, you take and read or consume the 3 links below and you do what it says to do in your life, you will not be poor, Brian. I can guarantee you that. But I want to party and have my cake and eat it too. Again, this is why I don't write for women. See you guys later. Toodles.